Hi friends, welcome back. So in this video, we learn about what are the various factors that impacts the size of the user story. Especially whenever we are trying to do estimation for agile user stories, we do various different methodologies to identify or sizing the user stories. In order to size the user story, it may require various factors to look into. Video, we'll learn about what are those various factors that is going to influence or impact the size of the user story. The first factor or influence that is going to make is the dependency on the external factor or any third party dependencies for a given user story. Sometimes what happens for a given user story is the entire team is sitting in the same building or within the same group, then it becomes easy for us to have a good communication and to get the things done. If the given user story required to be implemented from various different third-party teams also involved in these Scrum teams, then it becomes very difficult and the complexity of the user stories also increases, and sizing of that user story also will increase based on this factor. And the second factor is the complexity of the feature or a solution which you are going to provide for that given user story is also very important here. If the complexity increases of that feature or the kind of solution we are providing, then the overall size of that user story also will increase. And the third one is depends on the kind of knowledge we have, what kind of team we have, what kind of skills we have, what kind of experience we have with us in order to implement the given user stories. Based on that also we will be coming up with the sizing of that user story. If our team is very new and they lack skills or knowledge, definitely we may take more time in order to implement that user stories. Because of that, sizing of that user story will also go up. And the fourth important aspect or factor in arriving size of the user story is clarity. If the team is having a good clarity, then it becomes very easy for them to implement for a given user story. If there is a lack in information, if there is an uncertainty is there, if there is an ambiguity is there for a given requirement, that becomes very difficult for the team to implement the given user story. Because of that, team has to go and get a clarification from the various stakeholders in order to implement this ambiguous requirement that it requires additional efforts as well. Because of that, the sizing of that user story will also go up. And the fifth important factor is the post implementation of that user story. What kind of deployment process we will be using in order to put into production for testing or put into test environment for testing. All those things we will be looking, because if deployment process involves a very complex aspect which requires complex tools, complex softwares, then the overall implementation process also takes more, because it requires lot of testing and lot of development that requires to be done with a similar kind of production environment or similar kind of deployment environment. Because of that, our developers or testers also will consume more time. Because of that, that given user story will also, the sizing will be very high when compared to any other user stories. So these are the 5 critical or crucial factors that is going to really impact the sizing of any user stories.